Today we're going to be taking a look at the legendary Battle of Slankamen. Ludwig von Baden with 15,000 Imperial, 6,000 Prussian, 2,000 Bavarian, and 10,000 Serb soldiers in a desperate situation without supplies, with the river Danube and the fortress of Slankamen on his back, and the 50,000 men, 154 gun strong Ottoman army supported by the army of Imre Tokoli. So we are of course going to be playing here as, I believe, Imperial forces here defending Slankamen. It's going to be my first attempt at playing this battle, and this battle is made by, I believe, Edward 22. I know Odinethius and Edward make some exceptional fights, and this is no exception. So let's hope that we can stop the Ottomans here, and really put a hurting on them. It looks like we've got a nice amount of men here in the forest. We've got a good bit of veteran pike and shot, some dragoons, and some good old-fashioned artillery. I think first things first, let's start firing. And hey, you know what? Let's make sure that people can actually hear us shooting. Take the second artillery piece. That was much better in terms of damage, but really I think I want to let the enemy come to us. The only thing I might do different is to move the hussars over here, sort of prepare for their attack. But in general, we shouldn't be doing much, over here in terms of movement, as long as everything's looking pretty good. I'll even move these guys here to the edge of the hill to begin attacking if necessary. Now, these are veteran pike and shot. They do have muskets, and that's why I want to try to extend the line if I can. We've got these cuirassiers just in case we need them. In fact, we'll start moving a few more over. I think that's going to be good for now. Let's see what the Ottomans do here. Don't think I'm in range. The enemy's certainly in range with their cannons, though. So if they don't, yeah, they're not going to be able to do any melee. Let's see if they actually will advance here and give us a chance at getting some amazing shots. Oh boy, we've got Tatar cavalry on the right flank. Definitely want to be careful there and look at those terrifying Tatars. Some of these are poorly armed enemy levies. Those are the ones we're going to try to really pick out if possible. And a lot of these Tatars are attacking head-on, so hopefully we have a chance to shoot them down before they become much of a threat. At least I think they're in range. If not, we're going to get some exceptional shots with the artillery here. But of course, those Tatars getting close could chop us to bits. Evidently, they also have 68 in terms of missile attack, so they're pretty good with those muskets on their horses as well. With those pistols, I suppose. Such a massive force here by Ibrahim Pasha. One easy way to stop the battle would be to shoot him down first, but of course I don't expect that. Let's see if we're in range. Love seeing those cannons go to work, and we already disrupted some of their cavalry with a massive explosion there amongst their men. Now let's see, can we get a shot here? I don't think so, and getting a shot would require us to actually leave this position. So for now, I'm going to content myself with just firing at the Tatars directly in front of us. And what I'd like to do is take this pike and shot unit, take this cuirassier unit, and essentially, prepare a defensive wing over here for the enemy that's approaching. In fact, we should probably get our cuirassiers ready to go, face the enemy head on if that's what we need to do. Right, I'm not going to turn these guys yet, but let's just keep that possibility in mind. What about these guns? No, I think we're a little too far. And of course, we want to watch the Tatars over here too, so I will be pushing forward with all of these cavalry units. Alright. Let's go. not close enough to do anything, Ottomans. Good shooting. Although they're getting close, and it looks like they've got arrows here. They've got bows. Yep, we're dealing with bows. And what is this? 1807? No, I think it's got to be earlier than that. We'll put the date in the actual title of the video here. To stop the Ottoman would be an amazing feat for our men. And actually, they didn't expect our dragoons to be here, so we want to take advantage of that and shoot down as many as possible while we have the chance. Good shooting. Not so good shooting. A lot more on that left side than I expected. We're absolutely going to have to get into combat, close combat with our own cavalry here. I was hoping it wouldn't have to come to that, and that we could shoot them all down with muskets, but that's not going to happen. Our men are going to have to do their part. Do they ever stop with the Tatar cavalry? We're just going to have to kill a very large amount of them to cause a massive break, because this amount of enemies, and they are surrounding us. I'm not even sure we're going to be able to defend on that right flank entirely. So we have to make some serious things happen right now. Load those matchlocks, boys. Oh no, we might be past matchlocks. Whatever the hell you've got, load it. I don't care what kind of ammunition. Make it work. Alright, at least those fortress weapons are firing. And some pretty decent shots here. Need to try and get a disruption over here in this group. Wow, I was not expecting such ferocity so early on. Let's go ahead and just hit him head on. Disappointing, boys. The return fire is devastating. Alright, we did disrupt them. I'm going to take a bit of a risk here. I'm going to turn the veteran pike and shot. These men have seen combat before. Good shot. Just get the cuirassiers into position to repel the enemy. Doesn't seem like much, but every little bit counts in this fight. I really believe that. And I'm hoping that the firing phase will take care of them, but it's looking rough. I'm almost thinking we should have gone ahead and charged there. Bit too late for that, though. And yeah, we can't hit them at this distance. Let's focus on the ones we can hit. In fact, we're even going to have these cuirassiers storm down the hill. Should be behind them next turn if they don't turn to attack us. Yeah, this is a pretty risky move. Let's get these haiduks out. We wanted to keep these guys hidden for the longest time, but now that the enemy is approaching and we can get some shots with these dragoons, absolutely going to start moving out with them. Alright, boys, give them the what for. And we could charge, but of course we would lose horribly. So let's just fire. Now the hussars could charge. I'm going to make it happen. It's very even here. And it looks like the enemy's going to try to evade, so lesson learned. What we are going to do is just move forward with the veteran horse and form a bit of a defensive line here. We'll actually move forward with some of these haiduks. I might even send some of them over here because I anticipate quite a conundrum over here with our men. Not sure how they're going to handle this. Let's just see if we can get a shot. Nope. Maybe one shot with the artillery here. Alright, guys. Let's hope that that shooting phase favors us big time. Of course, they're going straight for the artillery. They know what's important. They think they can get an instant charge on that arty. Of course, they rallied back from disrupted. Little bit of shell shock from that artillery strike, but they are back in arms. Good shooting, boys. Fragmented. That's what we need to see. Disrupted artillery is not what we need to see. Alright, here we go, guys. They're absolutely making their push, making their move. But it doesn't look like they're going to charge here yet. Because they still could. They're just kind of setting up. A lot of good men getting hit here. I mean, I didn't expect bows to be this effective in this time period, but hey, they still kill people, that's for sure. Alright, these are the poorly armed levies. Now, that's a really good chance of breaking a unit, is by firing on the poorly armed levies. The weakest of the enemy troops, of course. The problem is it's not necessarily going to break the other troops, but it could start a chain reaction. So, let's just see how things play out. For now, I want to hit that Tatar unit. I think we could break them and get first blood. I know plenty of men have already died, but by first blood, I mean the first break on the enemy line. Gotta be all they have. Alright, residual shooting phase. Come on, boys. Yeah, the cannon is really disappointing me. And it's back to our turn, folks. So much we can do here. Of course, I want to try to get the break with this unit. And if we could save the shots of our veteran Pike and shot for the other units here, I think that would be best. Unfortunately, they are not quite ready to break, let's say. Now, if we charge out here, if they stay put, this actually goes quite well for us. But I don't anticipate they will. So I'm going to move up. I'm going to turn right up close and personal. Fire right onto them. I'm also going to take this opportunity to move up with the Haiduks. And fire on the Tatars as well. These guys could move in because the enemy's not really moving in on this area. So I'm going to take this opportunity to fire and potentially in time go for a flank attack. Who knows? Nice. Little disruption there. And it's risky, but I will go for the charge. Again, the evasion is what hurts us here. And there we go, guys. We got a break. The rest of them are disrupted, so they failed the morale check. That's exactly what we want to see. We've also got to focus here on the poor levies. We can't forget about these guys. As you can see, they were instantly disrupted. Now let's see what our Hussars can do against these enemy units. Already looking great. The problem is the enemy is evading all of our attacks. At least we're keeping them off our back. So I'm just going to push out. Again, the problem is here they can also just keep on firing those bows. What about a charge against their infantry? That's going to go terribly. So let's do that. And again, I'm a little concerned that I'm overextending my cavalry. But for now, it's the choice we've taken, of course. And we actually see enemy cavalry right there. Let's go for it. Ooh, that went quite well for us. And I didn't expect us to win on the cavalry front, but if it works, that's all that matters. Again, he should evade, but maybe not. I think they're going to fight it out. We'll take it. We'll grab our Transylvanian boyars. Or I should say our veteran horse against their Transylvanian boyars. Even the Transylvanians are helping the Ottomans here. These are dark times, my friends. Now, if we could rush in over here, look at this. Flank charge. Our cavalry winning the day against the Transylvanians here. This is what they get for betraying their own people. 20 down. I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to break them next turn. Let me move the Dragoons forward. Get some close combat shots, or close combat, some close shots. And we'll even move the Haiduks up. Unfortunately, these guys are going to be in the way. But even with the veteran horse, we might be able to make a little bit of a difference here. For now, though, just going to fire away. Question is, are the Dragoons going to be useful here in a flank attack? I'm not so sure the answer to that is yes. So I'm kind of preparing for these Tatars to try something. In fact, we could go after them, but again, that was a bad charge. The other charges went surprisingly well, all things considered. What we could do is move forward and keep firing. Right into their flanks. Let's get the Haiduks up. We don't have the high ground here, but we could still lure them into a bit of a trap. Get them close, and then we'd fire with all of these units. Oh, that's right. Let's see if we can fire with any of these artillery pieces. Doesn't look like it. What about over here? Nope. Alright, I'm still pretty happy with this so far. Let's end the turn. And if you guys have gotten this far in the video, please do like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to just put like a realistic comment, let me know how you think this is going so far. How would you have approached it differently? And what do you know about this battle? I know absolutely nothing about it. Here we go. End the turn. Favor us residual shooting phase. Alright, here we go, folks. Fingers crossed. This is our chance to break massive amounts of enemy units. And let me just say, I love the casualty counts in games like this. For me, it adds to a tremendous amount of immersion here. Fortunately, one of our guys did get a little bit fragmented. So did theirs. You could just imagine the ferocity, the viciousness of the combat over here amongst the cavalry. Ouch. Oh, our damn hussars. And there we go, guys. It was only a matter of time. Hopefully we can hold back these poorly armed levies. Our men are well-trained. I'm not going to say well-trained. The veteran pike and shot are over here. But they should be able to do a pretty good job here against the enemy. Perfect shot. Right up close and personal. Do a downhill charge with that other pike and shot unit and maybe wrap this battle up a lot quicker than expected. Of course, it could still go either way. The amount of Ottomans on the field is just unbelievable, really mind-boggling. And they've already disrupted one of our Hussar units, not good. And they're even moving forward on that group of men that we moved forward off the hill just to engage the cavalry. Didn't expect them to get here that quickly. We need disruptions. No, we need fragmentations quickly. Take about 1,000 more men. This doesn't look like it's going to hold unless we break them very fast. It's going to have to be like a domino effect that just sends the rest of the army fleeing in terror. Well, load those rifles, men. You know how this goes. Residual shooting phase. could greatly favor us, of course. Shooting over there, men. And now to the melee phase, guys. This is, of course, the cavalry combat, so important in this particular fight. I think the difference between victory and defeat, and we just broke off some Transylvanians. Let's see how it affects the rest of the enemy cavalry. Maybe not at all. We also can't forget that our men go charging into the enemy lines in pretty much a rage, so it may or may not go well for us in the end. Come on, boys. Our cuirassiers are tearing them to shreds. And there we go. In the pursuit, they slammed into another enemy cavalry unit. Only God knows if this is going to wind up being in our favor. Now, let's see. Turning and attacking would be a horrible idea right now. Over here, though, quite well. And even forcing the enemy to run here with an evasion maneuver, I think will work out quite well for us. Just because they won't be trying to charge into this large group of men. So let's fire. Let's try to do as much damage as we can to the Transylvanian boyars. Leave the cover of the woods just to get an even stronger shot. It's still not looking like we do much damage here. I'm going to turn because we could be charged from this location. Great shot. Yeah, I definitely want to keep my focus on the here. And as for the Haiduks, again, we would have to get ahead of these men to be able to use them. In the meantime, let's try and stop the Sipahis. And if somebody can tell us what Sipahis are, I would like to know personally. Guess that's not close enough. But this gives us a chance to straighten this line out a bit. And get another glancing shot at that cavalry unit. Alright, I want to break this unit right here. I really feel like we could do it this turn. But we can also try and break that unit there. Fragmented, that's what I like to see. It's not a lot, but it's something. This guy's also fragmented. We're going to have to focus a different unit on him. Just to see if we could break this guy. And unfortunately, not quite. So I'm even going to move up with the Dragoons. Let's turn this way first. Man, he does not want to break. Now, if we can actually catch him in this charge... I'm not sure how this is going to go. We are kind of behind the enemy lines. As long as they can't flank us, this could go well. I'm not sure. Fire at those Tatars. And I'm really tempted to continue firing here at the poorly armed levies, but yeah, we can't turn anyway. So let's fire at the poorly armed levies. Hopefully in the shooting phase, we'll be able to break some of these units. Now we've got to try and catch some of the enemy here. I don't think it's going to go well, though. Look at this situation. Man. Yeah, this could cause a cohesion test, but we have got to get back into the woods. There's just no benefit of us staying here. I think we'll be cut to ribbons. That may have even saved our guy there, to be honest. Now here is a chance to break out and get some Tatars. Alright, folks, here we go. Man, what a interesting battle. I'm still keeping 3 of those guys up on the hill in case we need them. We have fired with them, but we might move them forward just to attack the enemy here. Melee time. We did not do so well there. I mean, yeah, it was equal terms, but we lost more men, and that certainly matters to me. Time for the Ottomans to make their move, and indeed a flank attack, even with that poorly armed levy. I mean, we just shouldn't have sent that cavalry out at all. Over here, sure, but over on that eastern side, we should have just held them back and let the enemy basically approach, fire, and kind of just hold on as best we could. Beautiful, we got a break. Always good to see that. Unfortunately, I don't see any morale tests. Yeah, that went terribly for our Dragoons. That's what I get for overextending over here. It's our first break, though, so let's hope that it remains that way, and that we take this opportunity to really just cause a tremendous amount of fragmentations in the enemy units. Already have some of our own veteran horse disrupted, I believe. They're gonna chop this guy to bits. Garassia unit. Of course, nothing we could do about this because our guy was charging into the enemy cavalry here on the frenzied charge. So we're going to try to support him as best we can. We might even be able to get a flank attack on the enemy cavalry. But sometimes there's nothing you can really do in those situations. Seeing a lot of disruptions here, but I'm also seeing a lot of additional enemy cavalry. Here we go, boys. Alright, more disruption there. I like that. Of course, he's not surrounded by any units, so he won't cause any sort of morale check. That's right. Hold on, boys. Hold on. Alright, there we crushed the Sipahis there. And it seems that they are a cavalry unit, but also can potentially turn into an infantry unit. Come on, boys. There we go, some disruption. That's what I like to see. And it's the Catholic turn. Everybody loves the Catholic turn, folks. Let's push forward here. I'm seeing that unit quite disrupted. And if we can cause fragmentation in any of these units, well, I think that's going to help us out quite a bit. As for this guy, best thing we can do is keep the Sipahis off us. And this guy is directly in our line of fire. We don't get a typical pike and shot. We don't get a single hit on him. Should be able to break that unit of Tatars. My goodness. Let's turn in fire. Not a single morale check here. That's a bit surprising, but these guys are holding on for dear life. Actually managed to catch them, and in this case, that should work out pretty well. Of course, we should have charged first, then we would have been able to hit them for quite a lot of damage with the artillery as well. What about these Tatars? No, I think they would be willing to stand and fight. So let's hit these guys that are quite disrupted. Of course, our own men are trapped behind the line there. What should we do in this situation? So I'm going to turn to face the enemy. Turn and fire here. We're still locked in combat with this guy, so there's not much we can do except turn and attack. This would be a really risky attack, of course, So what I'd rather do is this fire. Now he's disrupted a bit, and hopefully that makes our chances of a successful attack slightly greater, although it's still very even. So I'm going to turn over here. And let's just open fire on the Tatars right there. I think now we can actually turn around. But it's too late for that. We've got to keep on going. At least keep them off our backs. Yeah, and they can just kind of toy with us here. Just look at that evasion. Then again, maybe we can save these guys because they won't be out here getting shot at every 5 seconds. So I'm going to allow that to happen for now. We can't get the rear charge here. That's such a shame. We'll break and run, but this extends our line a little bit more and allows us to be just a bit more aggressive. Fire right down at those Tatars. Turn and fire once again. And man, as you can see, still very effective. Thought we'd be able to shoot them. Wish us luck. It really does come down to those residual shooting phases, because if we can break these infantry lines, we're going to come out quite well. I'm kind of disappointed as to how the cavalry thing occurred. I mean, we broke plenty of their cavalry, but it scattered our entire force. That's what I'm talking about. Finally, a little break there. Now, does the break work in our favor is the next question. Over here, it's not working in our favor at all. Right. 18 down against 4 of our cuirassiers. So, again, our men are quite well trained. But again, in situations like that, there's not much we can do. Instant break on our side, of course, and there'll be an instant break here as well. Maybe not, but very soon. They're badly fragmented. What a cheeky move. We did manage to get them to auto-break, and thank goodness, because they just fired and ran away instantly. That was frustrating. Now, even our guys up here on the hill are getting disadvantaged. That's bad, folks. Yep, we're not gonna let that happen. I just don't think that those poorly armed levies are ever gonna be able to break past this unit. But with the continued arrow fire from these guys, the Tatars, that could happen. There we go, some fragmentation. I like it, boys. Flank attack is never going to look well for us there. And again, there's just very little we can do because of the situation that occurred here with our men chasing the enemy cavalry. Maybe there's still a way we can come back from this situation, but it was one of those times where even though we did manage to break through, we didn't wind up in a very good place. Now, I do like to see this, a lot of disruption on the infantry line below the hill. We did manage to get those poor levies to finally break. Now let's see if it causes a mass disruption. Numbers-wise, they completely beat us. So we have to do something absolutely heroic here. Yep, that guy looks like he's about to break. Here we go, residual shooting phase. Alright, that's what I'm talking about, boys. The Tatars are not liking this. And I'm not liking that. I think because our guys are in the woods, they're getting a slight bonus on defense, which is keeping them alive. Otherwise, they would be breaking already. That's what I like to see. Unfortunately, one of our units dispersed. Just simply threw down their weapons and is refusing to fight anymore at all. Enemy unit is doing extremely well here. Alright, folks. We've got to get some fragmentation here. There we go. Let's get a morale check. Not much, unfortunately. That was a mistake. Didn't mean to do that. Oh, that is so frustrating. It happens. Almost tempted to fire at him. But we're just not going to be able to. Poor guy's a little too far away. Be able to evade this charge forever. This is the guy that I'm most concerned about. I think we just need to turn and fire. But as you can see, yeah, they're crushing him out there in the battlefield. We'll push forward with this guy and keep firing on the Tatars that are a little farther away. Yeah, see, these guys might still be able to turn and fire for quite a bit of damage. Let's do that. Nice disruption there. Let's match that disruption. Direct shot right into the Tatars. And let's see what we can do about this unit here. Unfortunately, the only thing we can do is try and get into an actual fight with him up close and personal. And I don't think that's necessarily going to work in this situation. I wonder if we can actually get a charge here with the Dragoons. I feel like we should be able to, but maybe I'm mistaken. Eat lead. Oh, the return fire is devastating. And eventually, I'm hoping anyway, eventually this has to pay off. This consistent fire that we're throwing at the enemy here. Right off the field with the Tatars. And no, we're just going to turn and fire like we've been doing this entire battle. It's just the safest approach, I think. Really thinking we would get a break there. Alright, folks, I'm even tempted to push forward some detached musketeers to boost our numbers. but I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. We will try to escape with this cavalry, but he's not getting away. Let's be honest. The question is, will we have enough men to break enough of the enemy to get a victory here, or are the Ottomans going to be successful? Ending the turn. Men are just barely holding on in that wood. And I'm pretty sure by the end of their turn here, they will have broken completely. 15% of the Ottoman troops routing. That is a bit surprising. Come on, boys. More dispersal on the Ottoman side. It's always good to see that. Just knowing that they're not going to be returning to the battlefield. Alright guys, incredible. Now that's what I'm talking about, the domino effect. We did manage to get a beautiful charge there. I think we're going to get a secondary charge against the Transylvanian boyars. This is what these boyars get for siding with the Ottomans. Hopefully they pay the ultimate price here. Alright, yep. They're going for the charge. What else can they do after all? And look at that, guys. The enemy tried to fall back one of their poor levies. They absolutely broke. Just like any unit, if you fall back, there is a chance you will fragment. Looks like we also fragmented those Tatars, and hopefully next turn they will be out of our hair completely. Maybe God is with us here. We need to hope so. More disruption on the enemy line. It's just all along their line here, although, don't get me wrong, we've got plenty on our own side here. You can see those guys on top of the hill are not looking great. Maybe the enemy is doing reckless charges now. They're easily going to break this guy. I think it'll be an auto break, but at least, you know, it's one turn without them focusing on the rest of our army. Just trying to look at it from a positive perspective. Once again, right on the poor levies. A lot of disruptions. Will they pay off, guys? We got the enemy at 19%. That's not bad at all. Let's see how this melee phase goes, especially with our cavalry charging over there. There's even a chance that we could divert some troops there to the northeast. Who knows? Oh my goodness, our guy is rallying? That's insane. That is absolutely insane. I mean, he's trapped on all sides, but he's been managing to survive. The Cuirassiers have managed to survive in the woods there. Unbelievable. Now, right there, they just smashed our Hussars. These Tatars are still a vicious foe, that's for sure. Beautiful. The swords never stop clashing in this fight, man. Absolutely beautiful. But what I want to see are some breaks, and maybe even some support for this unit right here. Gonna turn, and next turn I am ready to attack, but for now, I want to break him. There we go. Let's get a morale check. No morale check. Alright, fair enough. Well, at least we can turn the right way this turn. Actually skipping over this guy just to hit him. And he is fragmented. Unbelievable. So terrified that he actually fragmented without us doing any damage whatsoever. I think with one more volley, we're going to break this guy. Unfortunately for this guy, I don't think things are going to go as well for us. So let's just turn. Try to make the best of it here. Yeah, that's not making the best of it. We still have plenty of Tatars we could break here. At this point, whatever works. And as you can see, because of the woods, we have to get right up close and personal to get a line of sight, but we also have a flank attack here. The problem is he ran right off the field. A little cheap, if you ask me. And we can fire right into the enemy's flank here. Yeah, this is going to be quite interesting. Not sure how that's going to pan out. We still win the charge. We still get them off the field. Let's see. I think that's the best shot we've taken with our artillery yet. And again, just turn and fire. Why not? Force the Tatars to run off this field. It's a shame that these guns are just barely out of range. Even from this unit, for instance, like, I would think it would be able to hit that unit at the very least. But unfortunately not. We've got a nice grouping of enemies here. Alright, fair enough. Let's end this turn. Well, we're going to turn it over to the Turks one more time. And again, this is part of the Great Turkish War. They have such a massive force here that we're going to try to break them, but I'm not promising anything. And it looks like the cuirassiers on our side were finally broken, bringing that up to a 19% even right there. Not so good. In fact, they shot our cuirassiers so full of arrows that they just dispersed due to the unbelievable, firepower there happening. So let's see how we do here in the woods. Incredibly, our cuirassiers still holding on. I'll be eating my words soon enough, though. They can't hold that forever. That's just not possible. Well done, boys. Holding the line just barely. And I didn't even see if that was our unit or not. We're going to have to get closer. Come on, boys. Right into the flank. We did fragment them. Nice, guys. The Transylvanians are definitely paying in blood during this battle. No matter what happens, we've dealt them a stinging blow. They actually managed to disrupt us. That should have been a break. 19 of them going down there. That absolutely should have been a break. Now, our unit broke. Of course, one of our dragoons. They're not going to do that well in close combat. They're really made to fire at range and then move away like a standard missile cavalry. The Ottoman turn. That was just the firing. Here we go. Come on, boys. Devastating shot with the arrows. 16 they hit us for. But maybe our shooting here can knock them back and force a charge. Unfortunately, the Sipahi is getting behind us there with a flank attack. That's going to be devastating. Beautiful shot there. Beautiful shot. And that's one of the reasons we put the Hussars here. We wanted to make sure to just get a circular shot here on the enemy. If we can keep that going, who knows? Yeah, that was brutal. They're finally charging with these Tatar troops. They kept them at a distance for so long, but they are really beginning to charge now. Even hitting our guys in the woods, our cuirassiers, who have held on for so long. They're just sort of running through the woods trying to get to them in any way they can. Right, some fragmentation there. Now, if we could get him to fragment and cause a break with the other units here, the domino effect I've been talking about, then we're coming out of this okay, but it's very unlikely that that's going to happen. This is what we get. There's nothing we really could have done about this. This is what we get for our units charging after the enemy, and there's no way to stop that in the game. Yeah, they'll break that unit soon enough. Is that all you got, Ibrahim? Come on. Now, residual shooting. This really needs to go in our favor, guys. Here we go. Not nearly the way I expected it to, and I think our guys in the woods here are gonna break. With that flank attack, they can't hold on to that position for long. Incredibly, they're still holding. They haven't even fragmented yet. I'm just amazed by that unit. Hold on there, boys. Hold on, Haiduks. And yeah, they couldn't hold on that entire time. Let's see the morale check here. A huge group of Tatars coming this way. Maybe they've gotten themselves into an awful charging mess like we did before. And over here, we're doing okay against the Boyars. But this is such a depressing break because we were chasing the enemy off the field the entire time with that unit. Only a matter of time before he breaks. Likely this turn, maybe next turn. They broke the... Wait a minute. These are our units breaking them. Our cuirassiers breaking the Transylvanian Boyars. That was a strange color. The green immediately makes me think sort of Islamic, Ottoman, etc. But that wasn't so bad. Unfortunately, this unit dispersed. It's going to cause a lot of problems along the line. Let's just keep giving them hell. In fact, I'm going to try and break this guy. But we really have to focus on these guys over here. So let's do something a little different. Try to knock them down from up on top of the hill first. And in fact, I'm going to do a charge here, guys. Our pike and shot are going to charge into the enemy's poorly armed levies and try and save our men here in the woods. I expected that to go a lot better. We did disrupt them, but I expected a break for sure. Now, hold on a second. I am charging, guys. Desperate times absolutely call for desperate measures. They're fragmented there. I don't believe that these Tatars are going to try and charge us. We're going to turn and fire. Give them just a little bit what for. And let's see if there's anything we can do with these guys. The best thing we could do here is just, yep, pretty much turn and fire. We'll turn this way as well. Open fire on the advancing Tatar unit. But what we really want to do is break this guy right here. There we go. It's an auto break. Let's see a morale check. Not a morale check. That's too bad. Okay. You know, sometimes battles go in your favor. Sometimes they don't. So just to maximize firepower, I'm going to move a little closer with the Sipahis. Excuse me, with the Haiduks. And there we go. We did fragment that Sipahi unit. So let's see what we can do here to these traitorous Boyars. And we are already engaged in combat with them. What I'm going to do, push forward here. Shoot these guys. They're already disrupted. And I could try to charge these guys, but they'll probably run. I'd much rather get them to break this way. There we go. And I wonder if we could get a flanking attack on the enemy. Not quite, man. But over here... we could get a charge. Unfortunately, it's going to be mostly a draw. Not necessarily going to be a win, but I'm just trying to really lower their numbers overall. I can't believe we can't get a hit on that guy. All right, here's what we'll do. Next best thing. I really wish I could fire at that fragmented unit, but that's not going to happen. So we'll hit this guy, and again, our artillery has just been piss poor this whole battle. There we go. Nice little shot. Make sure that our cannons are not in range of any enemy troops, because if they are, I'd like to give them a little shot, but it doesn't look like it. In fact, I'm almost tempted to bring out my detached musketeers and sort of assist our existing units, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start setting our attached musketeers up. We probably should have sent them up before. Detached musketeers, rather. But it is what it is. Alright. Oh, too bad we can't get him over there. Let's end the turn, folks. Best of luck to us, I suppose. Now, we definitely need them to hold this turn because we've got the pike and shot attacking from over here. We need them to hold the woods. Yeah, they're taking a lot of losses. One of the benefits of the poorly armed levies is the amount of troops here. 500 in this mob, which is a lot of men. And there we go. We broke one group of unorganized levies. Our guys are going to try to charge and actually manage to disrupt one of the Tatar units. They didn't break or fall back at all. Send these boyars to hell, boys. Not this turn. Yep, unfortunately the Karasias can't keep it going the entire time. And those enemy Transylvanian boyars managed to push us back. I mean, we've been killing their brothers left and right, but we couldn't stop them here. Also, the Karasia unit breaking there almost automatically. This is going to be the Ottomans' win turn, I believe. This is really their chance at finishing us off once and for all. What we really need, if we want any chance whatsoever, is a miracle, number one. Number two, if we had a few of our units rally up over here, that would help us out. The enemy's pretty badly bloodied in the center, and on the left side, but if we don't take advantage of that, not much is going to happen. You can see those fragmented units all over the place up here. And nicely done, our pike and shot holding off the Tatars, taking down 18 of them, and still pushing through to try to rescue our men in the woods. And there we go, one break on the enemy unit, two breaks on the enemy units, a Tatar unit, and a Timariat Sipahi carbine unit. Not bad, guys. I mean, I don't necessarily think it's going to win us the battle, but we're a little closer to getting out of this with a victory. We'll see. Fragmentation amongst the enemy line, once again. Back to Turkey with the lot of you. Much love for our Turkish subs, by the way. I actually do love Turkey, but in this particular battle, I'm playing against it, so you gotta do what you gotta do, folks. Let's go, baby. Fight in the woods. We fragmented them, guys. The poorly armed levies are fragmented, and we're even doing well against the Tatars. It's actually their mistake for charging a pike and shot unit with cavalry head-on. Probably not the best idea. Fortunately, this cavalry unit, there's no way the Karasias there can survive. Hopefully, they will keep that group of cavalry away from the front for a while, and that might help us a bit. Well done, boys. We broke the Transylvanian boyars again. So many of these dogs. There's a rally. I got what I asked for. Alright, we're going... Well, I'm not going to say that, but we're hitting the Transylvanians in the back. with serious results here. Now, the question is, can we turn an attack here? I don't think so. I think we've got them locked, though. What we can do is break them there. Get the hell off the field. I'd like to have additional units over here assisting on the east, but there's not too much we can do. Push out with some hussars. Fire. Try and hurt the Sipahis as best we can. And now I'm looking for those disrupted enemy units. That's the target I want to hit. Little fragmentation. Unfortunately, our veteran pike and shot unit is locked, and I think it's because they're charging that retreating unit. It's a shame, because hitting that Tatar unit right now would probably go quite well for us. It's going to say good shooting, but the same could be said for the enemy. And unfortunately, the guy's in our way. We're not going to be able to do much with him. However, we can push forward with the Dragoons. I'm instead going to try to get them in a better location. I'm not even sure this is a better location. And just with 2 volleys of arrows, yeah, they definitely are going to turn this into an absolute hellhole for us. Alright, we also have the detached musketeers. We can't forget about these guys. They're probably not going to provide that much support. As you can see, they're just 0 damage, basically, but it's better than nothing, I suppose, so we're pushing them forward, trying to make use of them. And you know how Agrippa does it here. I mean, I'm fighting to the end. That's how we do it. We fight to the end, and then whatever happens, happens. Alright. Alright, the melee phase really needs to go in our favor here. We need to hold again. I know we're asking the impossible from these cuirassiers. They've held on this long, so let's see if they can do it just a bit longer. And there we go. Beautiful. A break. Please give me a good morale check here. Not a single one. Not a single morale check. But at least one more enemy unit on the run. Got some dispersals too, but we've also got some enemy rallies. So it's almost as if we didn't rout a single unit this particular turn. Alright guys, fragmenting the Tatars there, 26 down. And of course, we gotta get to that magical 60%. We won't have 40% more of the enemy troops killed. That's not going to happen. 60% is probably going to be the only way to get a victory in this battle for either side, really. In fact, I think at this point, it's a mathematical certainty that we're going to have to get to the 60% one way or the other. Good shooting, boys. That's what we want. We want disruptions. Tatars charging. They did quite well there. Unfortunately, the Haiduks do not have the spear like the pike and shot units. They just have a sword to defend themselves. kind of wonder why they haven't charged our artillery yet. I guess they've just seen better targets, because that artillery would have been fairly easy to just charge and cut down right away. Yeah, give me some arty. And we really need the melee phase here to go well. We need the melee phase here to go well, although I think there's less of a chance for it to really go well on this right side. Come on. And nice! We got the Tatars to break there. Do we get a double break? No. No morale checks. That's okay, though. That's definitely more than I expected. Haiduks, fight back. And again, the Transylvanian boyars, maybe after they've seen what's happened to their brothers in subsequent retreats, or previous retreats, I should say, they're not going to give up that easily. They know that we're going to cut them to shreds, and they certainly don't want that. So I want to do everything I can to get a charge here against this guy. Don't think it's going to happen, though. So the next best thing is to at least get his buddy over here. And again, these Hussars, I really question their effectiveness. Sorry, not the Hussars, the Dragoons. I really question their effectiveness. I'm sure there are uses for them, but even, you know, from a missile perspective, I would probably take a Hussar unit over them and just go ahead and charge instead of firing from a horse. Come on. See if we can get one shot with the detached musketeers. Because if we could get a fragmentation this turn, that would be amazing. Good try, boys. Still a good try. Nice disruption there. Just trying to hit them in the back, essentially. But first I want to see if there's a chance to break through over on this unit. So we're actually going to turn and fire. These guys are, of course, the poorly armed levies. They're much weaker units than we're used to. So I want to try to take advantage of that. Get out of here. Forcing him to evade, and the reason being, next turn we can turn and fire on that unit with full force. But I do believe we've sort of done all we can in this situation. We've pushed our men to the max here, but I'm not sure there's much more we can do to try and get a victory of any sort. Here we go. Want to at least try to maximize enemy casualties, of course, and I'm sure we've done that. We've certainly done a number on the casualties here, but still not a win. There's not much more we can do this turn, although one of the options we had, I believe, let me see if I can find it. There we go. So we can charge here. And I think considering the situation, it's not necessarily a bad idea. I mean, we've got Tatars behind us, poorly armed levies in front of us. The other option would have been to fire here or to turn and fire here, but we don't have the ability to do that right now. So I am going to take the risk. Pretty nice hit. Unfortunately, they fell back. We actually wanted to keep them engaged and, of course, get them to disrupt eventually. And let's end the turn. And let me know in the comments down below, guys, or in the chat, if you want to see more of the great Turkish wars in the future. This is definitely, I mean, we talk about niche games on this channel all the time, or niche wars. This is ultra niche for at least most of the gaming community. Still fighting in the woods there, those brave, brave cuirassiers. Yeah, that's not looking good for our Haiduks at all. So quite a few of the Turkish units, the Ottoman units here, actually rallying. That's never a good sign. And they're desperately trying to get us to that 60% as well. Ottoman turn, this is where they can really unleash hell on us. And, of course, the rear attack we expected. Thankfully, due to being a pike and shot unit, we did fight that back. But now that we're surrounded by these guys, they're just going to shoot us to death. That seems to be a favored tactic. Nice disruption there by the Haiduks. Guess these detached musketeers are coming in a little handy, at least. Nice shooting, boys. And are these poorly armed levies? They are. Fortunately, a flank attack on the Haiduks probably will break them. They're getting somewhat lucky. Remember, the Haiduks do not have pikes. They have swords, which definitely makes things more difficult. Enemy Sipahis hitting us from the back. I thought we sent all the boyars and all the Sipahis off the field. They still have a few here. Now that the enemy is, of course, circling us, surrounding us, gets a lot more difficult to see any chance whatsoever at a victory, of course. Look at that. Right into the Haiduks. 6 and still no fragmentation. Okay, we got some disruption. Nice little start, but again, I think we're just buying time for ourselves, essentially. Incredible. Keep it up, Cuirassiers. And they did break our Haiduks here. Probably going to break our Haiduks over here. They are completely fragmented. Enemy unit got us here. Yep. And also broke the Haiduks with the morale check. Disrupted the Dragoons on the left. Nice flank attack against our pikes. There's not much we can do about that. Even a veteran pike and shot unit with light guns, light cannons basically, is getting smashed here. This is really where they're mopping up, I believe. We can, of course, still try to maximize casualties. I mean, that's pretty much what I'm going to do, is just see if there's any way I can break these guys right here. Even moving forward with detached skirmishers if it requires that, but look at that. They auto-broke us just with an arrow volley. Things are getting pretty desperate. Here we go. Can't attack with this guy, but we can push forward with the detached musketeers and get up right close and personal. Let's see. I really think this is the last possibility, is going to be to charge. Fragment them. Maybe we get a break, but I'm not sure that leads to much. Now let's see if we can't break this cavalry unit. Man, strong as steel. Nope. Turn and fire. I think we have no choice. Alright, we got some Tatars to run. Always nice to see that, but again, I doubt that's going to make that much of a difference in the grand scheme of things. I am going to charge, of course. These are very desperate times, and we got a little disruption there. If we could just break through and save our Cuirassiers. Just imagine if we could win this fight with the Cuirassiers alone. That would be truly incredible. So some fragmentations here, but the fallback doesn't help us in situations like this. It actually harms us. Just get shot right into the flank. Nice. It's not a lot of damage, but at least we can show them we're not entirely out of the fight yet. I'm not going to push forward. Last time we did that, we got shot to pieces. Well, at least not over towards these guys, but I'll move forward over here to try and get a shot on the Sipahis there. Do the same with this unit, except we'll send them over to this northwestern area. Alright, I think we're absolutely close to the end of the battle here. It's probably going to be one more turn before the enemy breaks us. Let's see just how close the casualties get, though, and who knows, we might manage to make it to 55% or something like that and get really close, but I'm definitely feeling like the Tatars have this. They've gotten behind our lines with cavalry, that's a huge deal, and now it's sort of just mopping up, I believe. Those cuirassiers are going to break eventually. Unless we have anything to say about it. Unless these Pike and Shot have anything to say about it, I should say. Said cuirassiers. And just so you guys know, 250 men in that unit. It's now down to 140. We did push past the levies here, but again, those poor levies, I'm not expecting them to break that easily. Or I'm not expecting the units behind them to break that easily, I should say. Good job by the enemy, and again, that's our best Pike and Shot unit right there. They've got him surrounded. It's only a matter of time before they break that guy. And yeah, that was not even the Ottoman turn, so now they're going to get an opportunity to really let us have it. Cuirassiers destroyed them there in the north. And there's that flank attack to break us on this particular flank. We actually survived that one. They're going to get 2 flank attacks, though. And this one will probably make it through. They are stuck in. 3 flank attacks. This is what I mean about the enemy getting behind us. And with that 27, it's actually a shock it didn't fragment us, but it's going to stop us from being able to break the enemy out of there. Haiduks are holding on for dear life. Even with their sabers, they're still fighting. But at the end of this turn, they will break for sure. Nice little auto break there. Good shooting. Detached musketeers. Just to get a few more numbers for our cause. That is a long charge, my goodness. It's a ridiculously long charge, like 4 tiles. Might need to take Tatars next time I play multiplayer. Okay, hey, nice shooting! We actually broke another Transylvanian Boyar unit. Don't get your hopes up, though. They're already at 60%. I believe they get the win here. You fought very bravely, Haiduks. You really did. You really did. But that's going to be it there for our men. Some of our guys actually rallying, which is funny, but that will certainly be the end of the battle. There we go. Nice mop-up by the Ottomans. I love this fight. And again, if you guys have any other fight recommendations for the future, what you'd like to see, make sure to let me know. A lot of these fights are available as alternative historical scenarios. That's what we're actually playing right now. So please do let me know. Keep in mind that these particular videos of Pike and Shot campaigns take forever to make. This is several hours of recording, several hours of editing, etc. So if you would like, please do follow our channel. And actually follow us, which is just $3 a month. If you can't do that, then just please always like and comment on the video. It really does help, and it makes a huge difference in terms of our actual YouTube metrics. We want to make sure to get, some more people to watch these videos. So again, if you can't donate, then please do help by liking and commenting. And look at that fight. Man, what an actual bloodbath here in Pike and Shot campaigns. Again, this is one of the maps made by Edward, I believe. But just to confirm, let's actually take a look here. Let's pop back. So I'm sorry, this one, no, that's Nick, never mind. I'm not sure. Either Edward or Odinethius, as I think many of you know, but I think this one actually is Edward's map. Just a tremendous fight, had a lot of fun doing it, and I knew close to nothing about the Great Turkish War, so a little bit of historical knowledge as well. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I'll catch you in the next one, and make sure to let me know if you want to see some more Pike and Shot.